What is going on, guys? This is Kuyan, and today I'm bringing you a guide for all your multiplayer challenges in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Now, just a side note, I'm doing these in free play just so you have a better understanding, but do note you have to do it in at least the quick playlist jam session online. So I'm doing it in free skate just to give you an idea of what to do, but do keep in mind that you have to be playing online. But without further ado, let's hop into it. Starting off with a super easy one here, you just have to hit this kicker gap and then get 15,000 points. Super easy. Now this next one can be a little bit tricky, but it's not too bad, so I'll try and help you as best as I can with this one. But you have to get the high rail and big rail gaps in one combo. And the high rail can be a bit finicky. The best way I can go about it is if I get enough air and then I even out by hitting right trigger, and then grind the entire length of the rail, you get the gap. Then go all the way around, keeping that combo and hitting the big rail gap on the middle rail in the middle of the warehouse. This next one requires you to get the monster grind combo with 4 flip tricks. Now this one can also be a bit tricky because it requires you to come back to the high rail. But the way to get monster grind is to do the high rail gap and then just fall off, let gravity do the work, continue the grind all the way across the rest of the half pipe to the pipe, and then get the monster grind combo. And then from there, you can see how you get 4 flip tricks as you see fit. Me personally, I found it easy to do the wall ride through the secret room, but that might be a bit too difficult. Not to worry, you can just fall down into the bottom of that half pipe and do 4 flip tricks. And our final challenge for Warehouse requires us to get the secret room gap plus 3 grinds. Now, unfortunately I don't have any footage for this. I guess it got corrupted, but just know that you have to get the secret room gap and then get 3 grinds. Super simple, nothing to worry about there. And with that done, we can move on to school. So for our first challenge here, we have to grab the perfectly balanced app and then do 2 grabs in the same combo. Super simple. Just grind the little, balance beam here and then do 2 grabs off the little ramp. Now this next one requires you to get 3 rail-to-rail transfer gaps in a single combo. Now this one's not particularly too hard, especially because you can get rail-to-rail transfer on a lot of different objects in the game. But just note, I feel like this way is probably the easiest. Come down the ramp, get 2 there. You can get another by doing the long grind gap, or another one here at the sort of flat to the incline ramp, which is another rail. There's other ways you can get it. There's another, I think, like 2 other spots where you can get the gap to trigger, but I find this is probably the easiest because the other ones are probably not the easiest to get in a combo. Now our next challenge requires us to get the roof to awning gap plus 35,000 points. Super simple here, you just gotta hop over this little beam and get the roof to awning gap, and then what comes down to your personal preference and what you're comfortable with getting 35,000 points. The easiest way for me is to get the gap, then manual or grind all the way down the side of the awning and do a 900 just to ensure you have a lot of points. And last but not least for school, we have to get the Halt pass gap and 2 special tricks. Now to get the Halt pass gap, it is quite tricky. You have to time this little jump from a pipe here down to grind the lower, part of the ramp here. It can be a little tricky at first. Don't be discouraged. I would probably get this one out of the way considering you're playing online and you have a bit of a time limit. But not to worry, you get the Halt pass gap. I recommend doing a special grind here as it also counts. Or, as you come off the grind here, do a special trick. I tried to, and I accidentally bailed. So, be wary of that, obviously. But this one isn't too hard. It's just mainly getting the timing right, doing the grind to get the actual gap. That can be a little bit tricky. And with this done, we can move on to Maul. And up first on the level Maul is across the light beam plus 4 flip tricks. Nothing too crazy here, you just want to come off this ramp here and grind the light beam, and then trick across to the other one, getting the gap. And then incorporate this with 4 flip tricks however you see fit. You can do, back and forth with a couple flip tricks, or once you get off the light beam, slow down to a manual. Just make sure you're not going too fast. You're comfortable with where you're at, and get 4 flip tricks that way. Whatever, it's totally up to you. Now, there's not much to say about this next one. You just have to do the short rail gap here by grinding the entire length of this side of the Maul. Go get the short rail, and then it requires you to do 2 flatland tricks in the same combo. Now, I don't know if it requires you to do actual flatland tricks, as in, different types of manuals like a pogo or handstand. I do it just to be safe. You never know, but that's all there is to say about this one. Yet another super simple one here. Just grind across these 2 planter gaps and then manual on over to the rail to get the coffee grind. Super easy, no stress with this one. And the last one for today's video that I'll be going over is the Flying Leap plus 20k points. Now this one, again, super straightforward. Just get as many points as you can while incorporating the Flying Leap gap. I personally 900 off the Flying Leap gap to get a huge boost in points. Whatever you're comfortable with, just know that whatever you're comfortable with at the end of the day is what's going to get you this challenge. So don't do anything that you don't feel safe with. And with that, that'll be it for me. We're going to do these in batches of 3 up until the end of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. So I hope you stay tuned, hope you enjoy. If this helps you in any way, be sure to like, sub, all that good shit. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.